Nope.
Kind of the same height. Yeah, exactly. Yes. I could just get off of my box. Maybe I'll look like
Man.
This will be quick. Good morning, I'm Carlos, along with Julia, and Chuck. We're back for an extra shot of sunrise, and we're getting some sunshine this weekend coming in.
Oh my gosh, you know, we always talk about the end of October, and you never know what you're going to get in Indiana, but I feel pretty lucky this weekend.
Oh, I think we're all lucky. We've had snow, we've had sleet, you know, and this is just going to be a perfect weekend. In fact, I want to show you some of the highlights that Julia did mention. This is the last October weekend, and our leaves basically are at peak, and some of them are at peak on your front yard because they have just fallen off thanks to this warm breeze. 40 right now. We'll get up to 49 by 11 a.m. and eventually a wonderful day when everybody's coming home from work and school at 64. We have the sectional semifinals tonight, and it is going to be so exciting with all these pep rallies at high schools today. That's one of the most fun times as a college or a high school student. In the 50s tonight for these games. By the way, the biggie that Dave's covering, and covering several, but Homestead at Hamilton Southeast, that is a huge game as HSE tries to advance towards a state championship. This is what we're looking at for a high tomorrow, 67 degrees, and I am expecting some rain on Sunday, but right now 40 here and 40 in Greenwood, so 67 tomorrow and 62 Sunday with rain for the Colts game in the afternoon.
So probably that roof closed.
Stays closed, and that's a good thing because that's why we have the roof.
Right, the option of doing that. Well, this is really cool. I've been to this place. I know you've been there, and if you haven't been, it's worth checking out. It's a local museum. It's focused on preserving history. It's pretty popular around Halloween as well, as you can imagine. So it's the Indiana Hospital for the Insane. Yes, those were labels back then in the early mid-1800s. In fact, 1848, just a couple of miles west of downtown Indianapolis. So years later, it became a place for medical students and physicians to learn about mental disease. Specimens of various body parts from dozens of patients were acquired over time through autopsies on site, and a lot of all of this is on display in the Indiana Medical History Museum right now. The museum, obviously maybe a little spooky at times due to all the body parts and skeletons and things like that, but directors say, to her knowledge, there aren't any lingering spirits. The museum is open by appointments Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 4, just $10 for adults to get in, $5 for kids. And really, this was lauded as one of the most advanced medical theaters in the U.S.
And it truly was a theater.
Yeah.
Students watched as there were surgeries there. All of my boys on field trips when they were growing up went there. It sounds spookier and creepier than it is. It's actually a wonderful museum with a lot of knowledge. And many of you who lived here for a number of years will remember that became Central State Hospital, which again was mental hospital. And what happened when Central State was shut down, they've turned that now all into housing, and there's beautiful townhomes and apartments and senior living there. It's wonderful. Yeah.
We'll focus more on the history part there and say that I think that's really cool.
Well, you know what? If anything is creepy about it, what is creepy about it is to see how they used to do some medical treatments.
Totally, yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying that they all worked or that some of them didn't, but you know, it's like, oh, thank goodness we've come a long way.
Let's take this butter knife to amputate a guy's leg.
Torture devices.
Just the name, by the way. We don't think you're in a bad place. Just go to the place where they call it, you know, you insane when you go in the door. But yeah, so it's great to see the advancements that we've had.
Yeah. Okay. Switching gears here is an excuse to break into your Halloween candy early. I don't think I ever need an excuse, but today is National Chocolate Day, so do that what you will.
I didn't know this. How did we not have
this
this
if you
morning?
did not know, chocolate comes from fermented and roasted cacao seeds found in Mexico, Central and South America. So there are so many different kinds of chocolate. All I really know is like milk, white, dark, and unsweet. Unsweet. That sounds like why would you do that?
Unsweetened? Yeah.
I want the. I know this is doesn't make me a chocolate connoisseur if I'm like, oh, I like milk chocolate because that's like the watered down version. I do occasionally like dark chocolate if it has almonds in it, but I don't need an excuse a day to eat it. I just think,
Wow,
yeah,
I'm
I like.
surprised.
But hey, that is today.
Dark
If you got
chocolate,
some.
actually good for you, by the way.
That's
Yeah,
what I
if you
hear.
get
It's
darker,
better,
the more,
yes.
yeah, the more,
Something about
the higher you
antioxidants
go.
or something. That's what I tell myself
Yeah.
that it makes me feel better.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here we go. National Chocolate Day. Let's
Yeah.
go down the line here, okay? What is your favorite chocolate candy to enjoy? I'll start. Okay.
Yeah.
Peanut M&Ms. It's just you can give me
they're
just
pretty good.
a whole bowl of them, and I'll be just fine. So
85% dark chocolate cacao with sea salt.
okay, that's
Yum.
good.
Yeah.
There we go.
You go, because I'm still trying to remember
I think
the name
I was
of my
going to say
chocolate
that
bar.
it's with, it would be like, I like chocolate with almonds in it, but there's a, Cadbury has a,
Ugh, you lost
what?
me.
You don't like
No.
it? It's not,
those-
not an egg, not an
Yes,
egg.
but you crack them for Easter.
No.
Is that what you're talking
No.
about? My kids love
You're
that.
saying it's made by Cadbury,
Yes,
but it
it's
is not
the, I don't think
Cadbury.
it's the eggs. It's
Okay.
it has like nuts and cranberries
Ooh,
and something
well,
else
this sounds
in it.
good.
So
Well,
it's
you
like,
need to text me this later.
It's like a trail. So it's like so. This is healthy. It's like trail mix.
Oh,
it's
no.
not, but it
Lost
does. It
me
has
there.
a bunch of different things in there. But no, what were you talking about? Put that on my
I
list.
was
to
talking
try.
about those Cadbury eggs.
Yeah.
CVS, I think, has a huge contract with them every
That's
Easter.
right. I always see them
Yes,
there.
and they
I
are
do too.
very, very good. And when we were in England, they had those in a different design. They were in squares, and one of our, I wonder if it's Matt Wisner, our photographer. Anyway, one person from a party night, we bought just a whole bunch of that stuff, and I went into like a sugar coma at the end of
I'm
the
gonna see if
day.
I can look
The
it up by the end of
diabetic.
it.
Yeah.
All right,
So mine is, I think it's, is it Next 5 or?
oh yeah. Oh, that's yeah.
Is that what it
no,
is? Something 5?
Take five. Is it
Take
Reese's?
Five.
Take
Take
five.
Five.
Oh, I love those.
It's like got pretzels.
Yeah,
right?
it has
everything.
It's got like
Yes,
pretzels,
chocolate
peanut butter,
and
chocolate,
caramel, peanut
peanuts,
butter.
Then I do think you will like this.
Take
It's
five.
called
Oh,
dairy milk,
dairy
fruit and
milk.
nuts. So it
Okay,
has
yeah, I see that.
almonds,
I do
peanuts,
like that.
and
I
dried
would like
cranberries.
that.
But there's
in it.
no nougat, right?
Yeah,
No, there's no nougat.
We
Not
know what
like
nougat
yeah.
actually is, by the way.
No.
It's pure
They
sugar.
invented it in 1974, and they said, "I'll put it in a candy bar." All right, so Netflix hubs are coming to thousands of Walmart stores. That means you'll be able to buy things like music, apparel, collectibles, and games from big Netflix franchises like Stranger Things, Squid Game, and even the upcoming series Knives, that Knives Out sequel. Oh, that's going to be nice. These will be in over 2,400 Walmart stores across the country. You'll also find concession kits of goodies like popcorn and candy to watch Netflix at home like you're watching the movies. The bigger expansion into retail is just their latest way for Netflix trying to grow their business after they're losing subscribers. They've been doing it for the first time for over a decade. Earlier this year, their subscription rate went down, their subscription numbers. The company quickly revamped efforts and on its cheaper tier, which is launching in November, and its password sharing crackdown will roll out in early 2023. If you want to
Numbers
grow
gonna
business,
keep going down.
Yeah, I know. If you want to grow business, you're cracking
Yeah.
down on passwords. I mean,
Yeah.
They're in trouble. I
Yeah.
mean, Amazon has everything. They have the world. Apple has
The world.
Yeah.
And Netflix has, original content and then other types of content. So
I think
that's
they're
a
probably
revenue
going
stream.
broke by that, like by developing the original content,
Right.
because they're luring, and I have no idea what their business model
Yeah.
is or whatever, but I mean, they're luring in big time,
Yeah.
Hollywood actors
That's
Yeah.
not
to
cheap.
do these
But
series.
that's because everybody is taking all their stuff back because they realize like how much money
Oh,
they
yeah,
were.
you're
So
right.
all of the networks are like, you can't. When they took The Office off, I was like, well,
I'm out.
that's what I go to sleep to every night. And they took off like all these like Nickelodeon and they're like, well, Disney. They're like, well, we'll just make our own. So
Right.
everybody is now doing this. They almost have to make their own stuff. But it wasn't Netflix or no, that's Redbox that I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of Redbox and
Yeah.
also Blockbuster, both of which had contracts with Walmart. Yeah.
So, ooh. Yeah, because now they're like, you can buy, candy, popcorn, whatever. And it's like, why wouldn't I just go to the movie theater? If I can't, especially if I'm not getting the movie from them, I get it if you're like buying the DVD and then next to it is the popcorn, but they're not even offering that. So,
Yeah, I see. There you go.
but that is way above my pay grade, and I'm sure they've got it figured out.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Extra Shot. Hey, have a great weekend. Be safe. If you happen to be going trick-or-treating this weekend, going early, be safe when you're out there. Wear, of course, some kind of reflective gear and, carry a flashlight. And don't forget big football tonight, Operation Football at 11 o'clock right here on 13 News. For Julia and Chuck, I'm Carlos. We'll see you back here bright and early on Monday morning.
Have a good weekend.